DFCRadio.com.
Feeling so high. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Cook up that hydro make me feel high. Feeling so high. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Cook up that hydro make me feel high. Feeling so high. Chefs in the kitchen and they chopping up hydro. The hydro chefs in the building and they rolling up hydro.
All right, welcome. It's 5 o'clock. The kitchen's open. We're going live on DFZ Radio, all up in your ear, on High Times TV, all up on your mouth with some food. We got everything covered. We're going to get you lit. We're going to keep you educated and medicated tonight. So we're the only show offering edible reviews, cooking demos, and interviews from the top brands in the industry. And we got giveaways from some of the top brands like Magic Butter Machine, General Hydroponics. So shout out to all you Duff Free Radio listeners. We're going to keep you entertained for the next hour. We got an okay show for you lined up tonight. It's been 2 weeks. Since we've been in here. There's been a case of the Chaz lungs going around. And on top of the vape crisis, there's a Chaz crisis, including a Chad crisis, too.
Nobody's safe.
So nobody's safe out there. And protect your lungs. Make sure you're doing some, looking out what you're putting in your body because you might just end up with Chaz lung syndrome. But we're talking Chaz lung syndrome today. We're also going to be talking some recipes and edibles for the Thanksgiving holiday coming up. And, it's a time where everyone likes to get together. This might be one of the times of the year where you might be able to break the stigma around cannabis. Maybe introduce someone to some CBD or introduce somebody to something medicated for their first time. And, what we want you to do is medicate responsibly, and we're here to coach you through it. And as always, we like to start off the show with some news and keep you up on the latest to go and around in the industry. And today is none other than a big news day. Dude, I mean, first of all, we'll break that one slowly in, but, Biden said cannabis might be bad for you. He doesn't know yet. It might be a gateway drug. He's not sure. So, I mean, when you're a presidential candidate, you're kind of hold to a higher expectation of answers about questions and stuff. So it's like, it's either take a fucking stance or don't. You don't say, yeah, I kind of, more research needs to be done. Would have been the correct way to handle that instead of answering it the way he said, where it might be a gateway drug. Well, fucking cheeseburgers might make you fat if you eat 30 of them a fucking day, too. Well, 30 bong rips a day won't make you fat. So, moving on. Potential 1.7 billion adult use cannabis market in Michigan gears up for a December 1st launch. It's about to go down in Michigan. Yeah. So Michigan's adult use cannabis program is expected to kick off on December 1st with about a dozen stores initially setting into motion a market projected by MJ Business Daily to be a 1.4 billion to 1.7 billion in sales by the year of maturity. Wow. So the launch comes at a time that nearly 8 in 10 municipalities in the state have at least initially decided to opt out or ban recreational marijuana, including the city of Detroit. Pent-up demand has continued to feed a large illicit market, and medical marijuana flowers is in short supply. You hear that, folks? Get out there, grow it up. Perhaps partially as a result, the number of registered MMJ patients have declined from a peak of 297,000 in late 2015 or 2018 to 276,000 as of November 1st. Adult use sales were expected to start in the spring of 2020, but in a move praised by the cannabis industry, state regulators last week accelerated the timetable with a decision to allow medical marijuana operators to transfer up to half of their inventory to equivalent adult use facilities. One vertically integrated medical marijuana operation, Ann Arbor-based Exclusive Brands, reported that it immediately got a record order for retailers scrambling to prepare for the retail early recreational start. So it's going to be a drought in Michigan after that first December week. And
Happened in Colorado, right?
It happened in Vegas too. Now, the black market's going to come through, and they're going to fill those gaps. So, support your neighborhood grower, but make sure you're protecting what you are investing in and not, going and just buying any old stuff. Don't make sure you're being careful what you put in your body. Ask the right questions. How was this grown? And we're here to teach you that. So if you want to get paid to smoke tree and not have to grow it and not have to figure it out yourself, there's a joint venture where you get paid $3,000 a month to smoke and review cannabis. So if you're a stoner who's dreamed of holding down a full-time job but just can't seem to get past the pre-employment drug screening, the next job listing might be for you. American Marijuana, which bills itself as one of the most trusted medical marijuana resources online, wants to hire one lucky burnout to review a wide range of cannabis products from the comfort of home.
Nice.
The successful candidate will get paid up to 3 racks a month.
Hell yeah.
They'll also receive a monthly supply of samples completely free of charge.
Wow.
So they're highly informed about the products and they know what they're reviewing. But before you get carried away, there's a few things to keep in mind. First, you must live somewhere in the U.S. or Canada where medical marijuana is legal. And second, there's more to it than smoking pot. You'll also be required to produce a variety of reviews, including unboxing videos and written blog posts. This is a fucking social media influencer.
Right, exactly.
Saint, you're hired.
I could do this.
I got you a new gig.
Send me the link.
Oklahoma medical marijuana sales have exceeded expectations. California, you took the largest in a decades-old industry that was working just fine and fucked it up in less than 2 years. Now Oklahoma, on the other hand, has built a better system in less time. Who fucking would have known it? In less than a year, Oklahoma's medical marijuana industry went from non-existent to one of the largest and most valuable cannabis markets in the nation.
Wow.
According to tax recipients and receipts released by the Oklahoma Tax Commission, sales of medical marijuana in the state stood at just over $258 million through the first 10 months of 2019 and are paced to eclipse $350 million by the end of the year, far surpassing analysts' wildest expectations. Oklahoma's launch far outpaces that of other medical cannabis markets, including Illinois, Maryland, Ohio, with sales figures more akin to a recreational launch. Patient counts have skyrocketed throughout 2019 as well, and they're up nearly 210,000 of November 1st.
Wow.
So there's more than eightfold of the registries had at the end of 2018 when patients' counts hovered around 25,000. More than 5% of Oklahoma's population is now registered as a cannabis patient, exceeding anything else in the nation. So,
They're ready.
you know what they're not touching in this subject?
What?
Is the opioid crisis that was going on in Oklahoma.
Oh, shit.
And, this is a direct result of the tides changing and people saying, I'm cool on that, the prescription. I'm going to do things holistically.
Yeah.
And not only that, the to get in, it was like a $2,500 fee. It was just something ridiculously cost effective. And that leads to ridiculous amounts of revenue made for the state. This can help all kinds of areas. So
I think black market should have made the move.
look what Oklahoma did. Yeah, well, and then this just in, a key committee
Breaking news.
just approved a congressional marijuana legalization bill. In a surprise turn of events, with everything else going on in Washington right now, they tried to sneak this one past us. A key congressional committee, the House Judiciary Committee, has voted to approve the Marijuana Opportunity Reinvestment and Expungement Act of 2019, or known as H.R. 3884, which would effectively put an end to cannabis prohibition in the United States of America on a federal level by removing it from the Controlled Substance Act. The bill also stipulates the potential expungement of certain federal cannabis convictions, with expenses being covered by a similar excise tax exposed on the illegal cannabis industry. So, as well as the creation of a cannabis justice office focused on reinvesting resources into the communities most affected by prohibition. Finally, if fully passed, the law would allow small business administrations to issue loans and grants to marijuana-related businesses and provide a green light for physicians in the Veterans Affairs system to provide medical cannabis to patients as long as they abide by state laws. The bill, introduced by House Judiciary Committee Chairman Gerald Nader, a Democrat from New York, passed with bipartisan support in a 24-10 vote. This is the first time in American history the public has seen a congressional committee pass a legalization bill, as reported by Marijuana Moment.
Nice.
So this is huge, you guys. Again, the dominoes are starting to fall.
Hell yeah.
This opens up banking. This opens up nationwide cannabis distribution through state lines. This is also a sign that could be the beginning of the end for the black market too. So it's a big day in history today. You know, with the impeachment stuff, with the cannabis congressional hearing, and dude, just lots of things happening. So we're excited to be a part of this. Can you imagine being alive in any other time than right now? What a hell of a time to be growing and learning, because that's all we do here is
moving fast.
Yeah,
Dude.
keep on learning, because the game keeps on changing.
Hell
But
yeah.
we're here to keep you up on that. And speaking of keeping you up on that, we're gonna come right back and keep some hydro stores up on that. We're gonna do our weekly prank call, and we got a caller on the line. So hang on there, caller. You might have a chance to win a Magic Butter Machine. 562-653-0707. DFZ Radio, Farm to Table Cannabis.
On the sea, so far away from everything. With time, I don't mean a thing. And time moves slow and certainly we got no place to be. Where there's love, there is life, there's a hope and a dream. This is the place for you and me. We can go, we can stay. We can hide, we can run away. We can feel and swim in the ocean. We've fallen, life keeps calling. There's a fire on the horizon. There's a fire. Let it burn. We can get higher over the mountain. We've fallen. Life keeps calling. I found love in the strangest places where all is meant to be. Jamming through the sounds of your favorite song. I said, good love is all we need. And when you get down, turn it uptown, and soon we'll feel at peace. When the world does you wrong, you listen to that song like the birds, they listen to the trees. In this jungle, we're all just animals, criminals, but innocent always. In this jungle, we're all just animals, criminals, but innocent always. There's a fire on the horizon. There's a fire, so let it burn. We can get higher over the mountain.
All right, we're back. DFZ Radio, Farm to Table Cannabis. We got a good positive vibe going. It's raining in SoCal. We're lit to shit, drinking some Red Stripe and smoking on some lava cake. We got a real island fucking theme going right here.
Yeah, we're getting litty in the city.
I wonder what they do in the island for Thanksgiving.
Huh.
Yeah.
Good question.
I always be leaving like at the end of vacation, and it feels like it's going right into the holidays, and you see the holiday decorations going up in Hawaii, and you're like, holy shit, they really stick to that beach theme all year around here.
Why not?
Santa Claus with his shirt off is not a pretty sight.
Think about it. Anytime you go to Hawaii, you want it to be like Hawaii. You want that vibe.
Yeah, you get there, you're all pissed. It's Christmassy and shit. You
Right.
were just trying to get away from Christmas.
All right.
What about for Thanksgiving for you? What do you do, Saint? Fresh out of the fucking your bid at the hospital.
Thanksgiving, chill with the fam, go house to house. You got to go travel around. You got to go to the homie's house. You got to go to your sister's house. You got to do your mom. You got to get those plates in. You know what I'm saying?
So it's a marathon. Yeah, you got to go through the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, speaking of the gauntlet, we like to put our hydro stores through the gauntlet sometimes and make sure they're up on new trends and new things in the industry. And so every once in a while, we like to call with a little disguised voice and just make sure they know what they're talking about. So we're going to be talking some turkey products today, and we're going to be calling to one of my favorite stores up in Oak Hills Hydroponics. This is up in the Hesperia Desert. And they're pretty good about their stuff, so I don't think they're going to let me get away with much. They're probably going to shut me down pretty quick, but let's see what...
Bryce.
Hey, I was looking for... you got the turkey booster over there?
Which one is it called?
The turkey booster. Or, well, if you don't, how about, like, what is it? Gobblicious Plus?
Gobblicious Plus. Let me just check. I'm not familiar with either one of them, but...
You seem real helpful, because, it's a week away, and it's, like, a really big time of the year.
Yeah.
I want to be able to really get a turkey.
Turkey. Let me look it up. Let me see.
What about Turkey Accelerator Plus, the gold bottle? Are you busy right now? You got to...
No, I'm actually walking through the store. Actually, no, I'm not busy at all.
Because I was also looking for aluminum pans, a turkey baster, maybe a pH turkey pan.
Okay, let me look.
God damn, Bryce, you're about the most patientest guy ever. This is Devin, the Hydro Chef.
What's going on? I thought it was you.
Dude.
I thought it was your fucking...
I was like, man, this guy's just going to let me keep saying turkey jokes. So
I'm like...
You're live on the air on DFZ Radio. I had to call you because, man,
shit.
you've been taking so much shit lately out there, and you're kind of a new store owner, but at the same time, it's a well-established store. So what we want to do is give you guys some free promotion out there to all of our listeners out there. Where's Oak Hill Hydroponics located?
It's actually off of Ranchero Road and the corner of Escondido.
And you guys got everything from soil to nutrients to dosing systems, lighting.
Absolutely.
So you guys got it locked down. So you're a grower yourself. You know about the growing. You know about talking about it. So when people come in there, they're not talking to some Chad. What's the difference between your store and some of those other stores? What you got, man?
Well, I mean, we have pretty good knowledge of just about every type of grower. A lot of our employees, we all grow a little bit differently. Some of us grow in soil, some of us grow, in hydro. Some of us grow in cocoa. So, I mean, we all have a pretty good variety of knowledge in different areas. So
1,000 different ways to skin a cat, and you guys kind of got a little bit for everything. So, Bryce, I hope you don't mind me putting you on the spot here, but we wanted to make sure everyone knew about Oak Hills Hydroponics up there in Oak Hills.
Awesome.
And check them out. They got the products, they got the knowledge, and they got the grow. So, hit them up. Hey, Bryce, thanks for taking my call, man. I hope you appreciate that the free advertisement, and we're gonna send you some lunch, courtesy of the DFZ Radio Studio, and we're gonna make sure you get taken care of. And I'm your rep up there, so you can expect a call from me first thing in the morning, player.
Get that
All right,
Turkinator up
Thanks
there.
a lot.
All right, but hey, get that Turkinator, okay?
Yeah, right.
All right then, later, player.
All right, man.
Bye.
Take it easy.
Yeah, he was.
So he's a good
he
sport.
was on
So
it.
shout out to Oak Hills Hydroponics up there. So we have fun out here, and we like to keep people on their toes, and they are definitely on their toes up there.
Tippy
toes. So we got a recipe demo this week, and it's going to be a holiday ham, because not everyone does Turkeylicious Plus, not everyone does Gobble Accelerator Plus, the gold bottle. So At the end of the show, we're going to take the last 10 minutes and give a little food demo, teach you how to medicate and medicate responsibly. And shout out to the homies over there at Mystery Baking. I know they're back up and they're in the recreational cannabis industry now, and we've got their butter featured in this recipe. So go check them out at Mystery Baking on Instagram, and check them out on Mystery Baking. You can get their CBD products too. So we're going to take a caller real quick. We got Kelly calling in from Redondo Beach.
Going back to
Kelly, what is good, Kelly?
Tilly it is.
Oh, it's Tilly, not Kelly.
Yes.
That's what's up. Well, thank you for calling, Tilly. What do you got going on this week before Thanksgiving?
Nothing much, just staying smoked out.
That's right. Litter than shitter. That's what we do.
Yeah.
And it's a weird holiday, right? Because it's like you want to get lit and smoke and eat, right? But your family's also around. So it's like, for some people, it's like break the stigma or don't medicate. So I'm a firm believer in having that.
That is what edibles are for.
That's right. I'm a firm believer in having that conversation. So you got some comments or questions about edibles. What you got going on?
Well, I just wanted to know, did the magic butter machine only make butter for baked goods, or could you use it for other type of baked goods? Or
so you can make a tincture out of it, which is a great alcohol-based product. So you could get your drip on. You also could make a great oil, which you can get your marinade on. You can also use it as dressing. So oils, tinctures, butters are great too. But it also does a coconut oil, or you could use it with like shea butter, and you can make a lotion out of it too. So the magic butter machine's so versatile that it really does use all the mediums for your cannabis confections.
Cool.
So that's a good question. What are you going to be making for your holiday infusions?
I'm going to be making some gummies.
All right. Well, you're going to be making in the magic butter machine because we're going to hook you up with one for calling in.
Turkey-shaped gummies?
Oh, my God. Awesome.
Hooked up.
That's what's up. So, Kelly, it's a hard job hooking everybody up every Wednesday night from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock before the Heavy Tea Grow Show on DFZ Radio and High Times TV. But somebody's got to do it. So who's hooking you up every Wednesday night at 5 o'clock?
The Hydro Chef.
That's it.
Hey.
Atta girl. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll keep you educated and medicated. You ain't got to pay nothing but attention and tune in. Take a minute to send your shipping address over to my DM in Instagram, and I'll come eat all your food and steal your magic butter machine.
Sounds good.
and then
Awesome.
and then keep listening every Wednesday night, 5 to 6, and then 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock is the Heavy Tea Grow Show here on DFC Radio and High Times TV.
Awesome.
Jam.
All right.
you.
Thank you, Kelly. Keep it real.
Tilly.
Tilly.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Bye, Tilly.
Awesome.
All right.
Bye.
So
She got hooked up.
she got laced right there.
What
Now-
are you going to be using your butter machine for this
So, dude, I
Thanksgiving?
go stupid, and I like to do the pineapple stuffing, and
Nice.
so it involves making some cannabis butter and a whole lot of sugar and pineapples, but it's savory and sweet at the same time, so it goes good as like a dessert, but it also accompanies like a honey baked ham really well. So yeah, well, we're gonna keep it medicated. We're gonna take a quick break, and I'm gonna come back and we're going to show you how to make that recipe,
Nice.
the pineapple stuffing with a infused baked ham, because that's your
Yeah.
holiday. You got to get your holiday on for the family. Farm to Table Cannabis, DFZ Radio.
.com.
I was looking for a way to escape material things. I was looking to lose control. And music, it was there for me. You know my brothers, they were there for me. And this is what they said. You gotta move fast, make the moment last. Always keep it humble, even when the feeling pass. When you hit the thunder rumble and your foot is on the gas. Take a second, dip it grateful, look up in the sky and ask for a lesson. Yeah, this life is such a blessing. If you're guessing, look around, I know you are blessed too. We come together to see light in any weather. But forever we have come to your rescue. I was looking for a way to conquer dreams. I was looking for one a day. I was looking for
looking for some company. I was looking for someone to scream my name. I was looking for someone to be. And music, it was there for me. Yeah. You know my brothers, they were there for me. And this is what they said. Why you gotta move fast, make the moment last. Always keep it humble, even when the feeling fast. When you hit the thunder rumble and your foot is on the gas. Take a second to be grateful, look up in the sky and ask. Oh, lesson that this life is such a blessing. If you get some look around, I know you are blessed too. We come together to see light in any weather. We forever, we have come to your rescue. We have come to your rescue. We have come to your rescue. We have come to your
Two sugars in a week and bake. 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 I'm laughing at her. She's trying to roll. Can't roll a split for life. Said, truth be told, I said good morning to you. What's up? It's coffee in the kitchen. Two sugars in a week and bake.
Now it's time for the cooking demo with the Hydro Chef with the Holly Ham. Let's go.
Happy holidays from the DFZ Radio Kitchen Studio. Hydro Chef's going to bring you a cannabis-infused holiday meal. And what we're going to do this week is a holiday ham, and we're going to accompany that with a cannabis-infused pineapple dressing. So in my family, we don't do the turkey, we do the bone-in ham. We're going to glaze this with some cannabis-infused honey in the glaze, and then we're going to chop up some of this day-old bread, incorporate some sage, some onions, and celery, along with some eggs and some butter from our good friends at the Mystery Baking Company. Bring all those flavors together, accompany it with that ham for a cannabis-infused holiday feast. Started on our prep for this holiday feast. The ham, when you purchase them, they're most of the time already cooked all the way through. You're just reheating the ham. So for this ham, we're going to set the oven to 350 degrees and at about 15 minutes a pound. I put a cup of some apple cider vinegar in the bottom of this pan because that's going to help keep it moist and you don't want your ham getting dried out. We're going to cover it in tin foil, and at about the last 15 minutes, we're going to prep up that glaze, get it on the top of this, and then get that crispy coating on the top. So once we get this in the oven, we're going to get started on our prep for that pineapple-infused cannabis dressing. So we're going to get a nice little tent on our ham. We're going to get this in the oven. And you don't want to let it dry out, and that's why we're putting the tin foil on top. Prep for the pineapple dressing is simple. We're going to cube up this bread, we're going to dice up this sage, we're going to mix up those eggs and incorporate that in with our cannabis-infused Mystery Baking Company butter. Pineapple stuffing prep, I like to do a mixture of the Hawaiian-style sweetbread and then some of this French bread. It's a good combination so you get a different texture. So let's cube up some of this, then we'll slice up our vegetables and our herbs, get those sauteed, and bring this all together for holiday cannabis-infused feast. Bread chopped up. The next step, we're gonna take this sugar and we're gonna break our eggs into that, and then we're gonna cream the sugar and the eggs together. Then this is gonna help coat all over the dressing mixture, and it's gonna rise. And we get a nice texture. It'll be like a souffle or a bread pudding. So let's get these in there, and then we're gonna whisk this together. Real simple. A half a cup of sugar with 4 eggs. We've got about 12 slices of bread all together, or 12 rolls. So that's good. We've got our bread done. We've got our sugar egg mixture done. Let's chop up some of these vegetables.
We'll talk about our hydroponics and our soil garden. The sage I grow and the cannabis I grow is done in hydroponics, but now our rooted vegetables, these are all done in our soil garden using Vermicrop Organics Vermi Soil, which is a bagged soil product. It's very important when you claim that you have organic vegetables that you're truly growing with a certified organic ingredients. And Vermicrop Organics makes that easy because their vermisoil, natural organic soil, contains bone meal, fish bone meal, sea kelp, feather meal, bat guano, all derived from natural organic sources and CDFA certified by the state of California. So these vegetables were all produced organically, and when you use vermicrop soil, you can say that and know that what you're putting out is truly what is in the bag. So let's get started cutting on the rest of these onions, and then we're going to saute these in some of that cannabis butter. Bread's cubed up, we creamed together the sugar and the eggs, chopped up the vegetables and the sage. Now let's saute the vegetables on the stovetop in some of this Cannbis infused Mystery Baking Company butter. We're going to use about 4 tablespoons. 6 tablespoons of butter. About 3 to 4 minutes. And I'm just going to come through and give it a little bit of a mix. We don't want the heat too high because you don't want to burn off too much of those medical benefits from that cannabis infused butter. So shout out to Mystery Baking Company for infusing this meal, and shout out to Mystery Baking Company Brian and the boys for coming on the show. Happy holidays. Farm to Table Cannabis. The vegetables are done when they become about translucent in color. And again, this is not going above like a medium high heat. We're just keeping that temperature nice and average. You don't want to burn out those qualities. So this is ready. Let's take this over and we're going to let it cool, and we're going to incorporate it into that sugar and egg mixture along with some of that sage. So you're going to rub some butter in the bottom of your glass Pyrex glass, and this is going to be ready to go. So let's start incorporating these ingredients together. 20-ounce can of pineapple drain that goes right into the egg and sugar mixture, and then we've got about 3 tablespoons of the sage that we're putting in there. You're gonna mix that up nice. Those flavors are in there, and now we're gonna take the cannabis butter with the vegetables, the onion, the celery, and we're gonna mix that together. You wanna mix that up real quick. There we go, there we go. Now we're gonna do 1 layer of the bread in the bottom. Now we're going to pour the rest of this mixture right into this. And the reason we put that base in the bottom because it gives it a little bit of a foundation for this custardy egg dish with a pineapple to build on. So you're going to mix that together. You can fold all the liquid from one end, bring it up to the end. Nice little mixture. This is pretty much ready to go. Now let's get this in the oven, and then we're gonna check on our ham, and then we're gonna make this cannabis infused honey glazed ham with pineapple dressing. Hydroponic chef approved. DFZ Radio, Farm to Table Cannabis. Happy holidays. Alright, so we got this spread into our nice baking dish. We're going to place aluminum foil over the top. We're going to put it in the oven at 350 degrees with the foil on top for 25 minutes. We'll take off the foil and cook it another 25 minutes until it's golden brown on top. That'll give us enough time to put together our glaze for that honey ham. For our ham, we're going to do a cannabis infused glaze on there. We're going to take half a cup of some brown sugar. We're going to get some orange zest along inside there. In addition to the orange zest, we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of this Mystery Baking Company's honey. And then we'll take 1 tablespoon of water. We're gonna mix it with this along with 1 tablespoon of the Amaretto cherry liquid. And we're gonna put this on the saucepan and we're gonna let all these flavors come to the consistency that we want. We're gonna lay this right over the top of our medicated honey ham along with our pineapple dressing that's been infused with that Mystery Baking Company butter. I'm gonna go with medium heat. We've got the water in there, we've got the honey, we've got that orange rind, and a little bit of that Amaretto cherry liquid. That cherry syrup's got such a good flavor too. You can take your little packet that comes with the ham too, and you can infuse it if you want with some medicated honey from Mystery Baking Company. It's up to you. Hydroponic chef approved. Comes to a boil, it's done. Turn it off from the heat. We're gonna let this cool down just a little bit, and then we're gonna start glazing that beautiful honey ham with our cannabis infused honey glaze. Off the tin foil, we turned up the heat to 420 degrees so we can properly glaze this ham. And we're gonna get that first glaze on there with our honey and our Amaretto cherry syrup. And you just get a little bit of that syrup on there. Now we're gonna put some of those beautiful spiral sliced pineapple pieces, because that always looks beautiful on your ham, doesn't it? So let's get those on there. And then since we already have that cherry on there, let's get some of those beautiful cherries too. All right. Can't go wrong. Cannabis infused pineapple cherry ham. Ham and the dressings in the oven. I'm gonna give it both about another 25 minutes. Take the aluminum foil off, let that golden brown take effect on top of the dressing, and we'll serve this up. In about 25 minutes with the aluminum foil off, with the oven on at high temperatures so that glaze has got crisp up on top of the ham. So let's pull out our ham and our dressing. Came out nice. Those flavors from the cherry syrup along with that medicated honey. And then we've got the cannabis infused pineapple dressing with our cannabis infused butter from our friends at Mystery Baking Company. So let's plate this up and get started on this holiday feast. So let's get our oven safe glove. We're gonna take our ham out very gently, move it to a cutting surface. You can see all that ham wants to just fall right off the bone. And this is pretty much ready. Let's get a couple pieces off there. Yeah, that's ready to serve. So simple, so tender. It's already fully cooked when we put it in the oven. All we did was re-moisturize it and hit it with a little bit of that cannabis glaze. I'd like to thank the friends over at Mystery Baking Company for providing the honey and the medicated butter for this dish. And I'd like to know what you cook for your family tradition, and what cannabis infused feast you would like to share with your family. And you can win your very own butter brewer just for commenting on the recipe section below. Hydroponic chef approved, DSC Radio, Farm to Table Cannabis.
All the dab on me, man. All the drip on me.
And that's the holidays in your mouth. Welcome back, Farm to Table Cannabis. That wraps up the show for this evening. we're about to go into the Heavy Tea Grow Show. Starts at 6 o'clock in a few minutes here. And before we take off, I want to tell you about an event coming up this weekend. It's going to be the save the date because the Women's Wellness Brunch is going down Sunday, November 24th out in Malibu. Down the Rabbit Hole presents a wonderful brunch brought to you by yours truly and curated by the hydroponic chef.
Yeah.
They're going to have women's massages, women's wellness, walking, meditation, yoga classes. It centers around cannabis and the labyrinth that will be flowers on flowers on flowers. So natural vibes, healing will be there, and affirmation of exercises, and they'll be provided readings for all our guests, and it's going to go down. So I'll be keeping them lit, they'll be keeping it medicated, and I'll keep them educated. So check it out, Women's Wellness Brunch going down. You can. It's the links in her bio, Down the Rabbit Hole, RHD. And that's our show for this evening. Stay tuned for the Heavy Tea Grow Show, Farm to Table Cannabis, High Times TV, DFCRadio.com.
Feel high, feeling so high. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Roll up that
Hydro Chef's gonna bring you
make me feel
cannabis
fine.
infused
Roll
holiday
up
meal,
that
and
hydro
we're gonna
make
do
me
this.
feel high, feeling so high. Chefs in the kitchen and they chopping up hydro. The hydro chefs in the building and they rolling up hydro. Hydro's in the kitchen and they cooking it
Yo,
up.
yo, yo. Stay tuned for an all new episode of the Heavy Tea Grow Show.